Yo, what is up, man? Upchuck Gaming, man. Doing a little something different today. Um, as you all well, if you don't know, heard me saying it on my podcast. I am a Dragon Ball fan to the T. And last night, we had an episode to end, a series that, I love. I have a love and hate relationship with Super. Um, we definitely got a lot to talk about today. I definitely want to talk about this because I've been seeing like a lot of mixed reactions on what Super is, how people feel about Super. So I definitely want to get you guys, I want you guys feedback on this. I have a lot of topics I actually want to talk about Super, but just give me a second real fast while I pull up these topics and then we will get into it. We definitely gonna get into it, man. Definitely gonna get into it. So pretty much how where I want to start off at, I definitely want to talk about last night episode, which was episode 131, the ending of Super. Now, Super, the tournament of art, the tournament, this shit been going, it seems like it's been going on forever, but it all ended last night with 17 winning the tournament. Him coming back was kind of mind-boggling to begin with because he actually thought he was gone. Everybody thought he was dead, and to see 17 come back last week was pretty damn epic, man. And I've never been like a 17 fan, Android 17 fan. I never really liked Android 17. I don't know why. It's not. I just never really connected with the character. But I feel like Dragon Ball Super made him a badass, man. Ever since the first time we seen him, when Goku went to go look for him to recruit him, he just seemed different. He didn't seem like the kid we kind of knew. I'm not gonna say kid, but he didn't seem like so like immature and destructive as he was before. He seemed mild mannered or whatever, but he is a lot more powerful now. I mean, of course, he said he's been training. The him and Goku had a little fight, of course, because he's trying to recruit people, and I think that kind of opened up everybody's eyes about 17. So 17 winning. I say, like, for me, my favorite thing about last night was the fact that we seen Goku and Frieza fight for the first time, like together. They kind of teased it a little bit when he first got Frieza, from Hell when he was fighting all those little the hooded guys or whatever. And I was like, man, that'd be kind of dope if they would end up fighting. I actually said that while low. I was like, it's not gonna happen, because everybody thought Frieza was gonna pretty much betray Universe 7. There was a lot of a lot of theories out there. He's gonna go to another universe, and he's gonna do all this other stuff, man. But it's definitely something that I was like, wow, man. Even seeing them have like that kind of banter, where they're trying to hold off Jiren's attack, it was definitely something different from what we're used to between those two, because you already know Frieza and Goku has so much history, man. And it was just a good look to see. I definitely loved the animation last night. I think the animation was definitely on point. I kind of wish it was like that throughout the series for the most part, but we'll get into that a little bit later. But like I said, I definitely enjoyed that. We got to talk about Jiren for a little bit, man. Jiren, to me, I have mixed feelings on Jiren, man. He is OP. I mean, let's not forget, like, this guy might be the strongest adversary, I'll say, that they've ever faced. I don't call him a villain because he is a protector of a universe. So I'm not going to really say he's a villain, but Jiren, like the first time I seen Jiren, bro, he didn't really say nothing. He had this same stupid look on his face. You know what I'm saying? Like, he just looked like a brute, basically. And that's kind of what he was in the first part when we started to see Jiren. He actually came in with a hoodie on. He already know everybody knew he was going to be the badass, but when he first like took the hoodie off and he was just sitting there like, oh man, I'm just strong. He was just so robotic, you know, and that's one thing I didn't really like about Jiren was, yeah, he's strong, but shit, he ain't. It's nothing else to this man, you know. But as the arc went on, then we were able to actually see, you know, him have some personality where it would be good or bad, however he felt about it. I was just glad, you know, he kind of broke, they let him come out of his shell. I think they kind of prolonged that a little bit too long. But once he did, man, he like his character opened up for at least for me, you know, and I actually enjoyed that for them, you know. So I'm like, damn, you know, he's a better character now than he once was because, like I said, him talking, him being cocky, him at his worst, you know what I'm saying? Like everything started to open up for Jaren, and I definitely enjoyed that when it came to his character. Now, you know, talking about the episode last night, I mean, shout out to my man Frieza, of course. I am a Frieza guy. It's been known for many, many years now. Uh, Frieza is so cocky, bro. Like, you know, it's like it hurts him in a little bit, you know what I'm saying? Because, you know, when 17 took down Jiren, he was like, okay, cool. You know, I got him down. Like, go finish this guy off. This man has to go up there and just talk shit for no reason instead of getting the job done. But that's who he is. You know, he's gonna talk shit before he gets rid of you. He's been doing that since forever. That's his, you know, that's his character, or whatever. But I'm like, damn, dude, this eliminate this motherfucker, man, so we can get some more shit in this episode. But of course, you know, Frieza talks, and then my man Topo actually turned into Krillin for somewhat. You know, the whole Krillin, hey, you know, Jiren, you're better than this, you know, and you know, I'm fighting, you've been fighting for us, and you know, it's the same Dragon Ball banter we've been hearing forever, man. And all of a sudden, he gets this another power up. I think Jiren has like the most power ups I've seen. This man has went full power like 3 or 4 times already, and I do feel like, you know, it was kind of like, okay, I mean, goddamn, you know, my man was just laying in the crater, you know, the last episode. Now all of a sudden, this man powered up again, you know. So that, like I said, that kind of tells you that he is more powerful. He is really like really, really powerful. But like I said, Topo had the Krillin moment, trying to pump him up. So then, you know, he sends his blast, and they're trying to reflect it or whatever. And then my man, 17 is like, use more energy. And Frieza, being the guy, he's like, don't tell me what to do, motherfucker. Like, you know who you talking to, man. You know, so it's kind of cool to see them kind of interact because they really have no history before this. So that was actually kind of a cool point too. I definitely enjoyed that. And then another thing I didn't get about this, I'm like, how was Goku able to get up? Like, it's just I don't understand, like, where are they getting this power from, man? But so Goku gives up, man. He kind of, and then him, like I said, him and Frieza had that banter talking about, I hope you don't keep your promise. You know, if we win this, man, I need to be resurrected. Goku was like, all right, man, you know, I'm a man of my word, we'll this and that. But we don't know that, though, because if you really go back to the beginning of this arc, Goku was pretty much lying to everybody. You know, my man was lying to everybody. And about, you know, if you come join us, man, it's a, you know, this tournament is nothing that big, but if you win, you get this money, this and that. So he I don't know if he would have kept his promise or not. I don't know, because I don't know if he would have been the last person, because the MVP was pretty much the last person standing, not who had the most eliminations or nothing like that. You know what I'm saying? So it was actually kind of, I don't know how that would have played out, man, because that would be kind of crazy. So so then Goku tell 17, you go chill out or whatever, you know, you recovered or whatever, and while me and Frieza handle this, man. So they go on to eliminate Jiren, and then, you know, Universe 11 gets erased. 17 wins the Super Dragon Balls, and he, of course, like everybody knew, he wished the universe is back. Like nobody, like for a split second, man, I thought Frieza was going to win this tournament and then do something stupid. where he'll be like the villain in the next arc or whatever, and then that was kind of thrown to the wayside. But I do feel like 17 definitely showed, he definitely upped his, how can I say, his everybody likes 17 now. I like I said, I never liked the character, but I definitely feel like he's one of the better characters in Dragon Ball Super. So, after all the universes come back, they go to each universe, that got eliminated, whatever. And then it goes off the air. Frieza, my man Frieza, returns to his army, which is that was a dope ass scene. I definitely enjoyed that. It's just kind of weird to see him. He's not in his first form in that pod. He's like in his fourth, which is kind of weird, but it is what it is. But I definitely enjoyed last night. I think last night episode was so good, man, from so many standpoints. Even at the end, where you see my man Vegeta and Goku posing like they did in the same stuff. Like, it's just little stuff like that I enjoyed about that episode. So now it is over, and we don't have no more Super, bro, until the movie come out in December. So what I want to do, I kind of wanted to like just go over some things, like what I liked about Super, what I didn't like about Super. That's some of my favorite characters, favorite arc, or whatever. So let's get into some of the pros about Superman. I say the biggest thing for me I like about Super is all the new characters. We have so many new characters, from Hit to, when people didn't like Frost. I actually like Frost, man. Frost was actually a fun character because he wasn't really that strong, but he was sneaky, and he kind of maneuvered his way through a couple of things in this series with Dragon Ball Super. So I definitely fell in Frost. Of course, I love Champa. Seeing Champa seeing like a fat bear who's just like a shit talker, bruh, and his Angel Vados clowning him on his way to stuff, man, and them always going back and forth and stuff. It was actually really cool. So I'm definitely a Champa fan. Who else I like? I definitely like, of course, Black and Samasu, who are like godlike, man. Those two characters, for me, really put Super on the map. In my opinion, I think the Black arc put Super on the map, and it kind of like changed the way we kind of view things. Because the Universe 6 and 7 tournament, while it was good, it wasn't it was still kind of like lighthearted Dragon Ball stuff, but the Black arc was definitely, how can I say, it was definitely darker, and it made me more interested in the series. You know what I'm saying? So I definitely love that. I love Black and Zamasu, which is kind of like the same person, whatever. But I definitely love those two. Who else? Zeno, man. I think Zeno is. Oh, that's what I forgot to talk about. Zeno was kind of psychotic, bro. I mean, this man was willing to wipe out everybody if they didn't wish the other universes back. If you really think about that, bro, like, he really was thinking about doing something like that, and it's kind of crazy to think. So he made this tournament. Well, no, I ain't gonna say he made the tournament because he's going to erase these universes anyway. So Goku was like, "Hey, man, why don't you just have a tournament? We'll fight for our well-being or whatever." You know what I'm saying? So he was like, "All right, cool." So his whole intentions was, I'll erase these universes, but if they don't bring them back, whoever wins don't bring them back, then I'll just erase everything and start brand new. I'm like, God damn, that is nuts. You know what I'm saying? Like, this man is insane. But I actually love the character because he didn't really like do anything, especially when there was two of them. I think they always made me laugh in this arc, bro, because they was just so into it. And and they always made it dramatic when they eliminated somebody, or saying, "Oh my God, this is cool," and then the next one to say the same shit, like, "This is cool," and then they kind of go back and forth. I love Zeno. I think Zeno is a dope character in my opinion. I don't like the English dub Zeno. I think the English dub Zeno is kind of trash, but that's neither here nor there. Now, let's get back into some other stuff I like about Super, which is I definitely, like I said, the Black Arc for me was just it was amazing. Kind of terrible ending in a sense because when you don't, how can I say, when you don't, when you kind of know, like we are like once Goku had that button, we knew it was gonna come into play sometime, and then once we kind of knew like Black and just uses Zamasu and merged Zamasu, there was this too OP, bro. We knew the button was coming. We knew the button was coming, and it was this. But that's like the only like spot I didn't like. But just seeing how savage Black was, man, and him stabbing Vegeta in the chest, and him hitting Goku, what I'm saying, with the fucking blade move, man. Black is he is literally like right under Frieza for me. Like I love Black slash Amasu. That character was dark, which is not listed like dark doesn't really go with Dragon Ball like that, man. They try to make it dark, but it's not like really dark like that. Him killing Chi Chi and Goten to actually take the body is savage to me. You know what I'm saying? Black killing Bulma at the beginning of the arc is savage to me. Yeah, it's just stuff like that, man. What a perfect way to, introduce a character like that is just have him be a monster, like right off the rip, and hitting characters that we all know and love from like years past. It's not like he's killing like random people. He's killing like people we know and people that we been following for a while. So I definitely love uh, that aspect of the Black Arc. And I think the Black Arc is simply amazing, and they could not beat him. That's one thing that you know Black has over a lot of other villains in this series, man. They didn't bleed. They never beat Black. They beat Zeno erased that nigga, bro. You know what I'm saying? So Zeno erased that nigga, and it was definitely something that you know it was definitely something that I kind of say that's why we made the ending kind of dumb, but good at the same time because they tried everything. Trunks put that work on them, his false Super Saiyan rage, calling with the Sword of Hope, and it still wasn't enough. It kind of it was almost like General was almost like that, but then eventually he got eliminated. You feel me? So, like I said, I think the Black Arc was simply phenomenal, man. And the last thing I like about Super, I will say is I think Ultra Instinct. I'll say like the transformations in general was actually pretty cool. Vegeta's new transformation was godlike, bro. That man took out a god of destruction, man. Even if he's a candidate or not, my man took him out. You feel me? And that transformation, like it gave you chills, seeing Vegeta like that. Because we already know Vegeta's the king of elves, but he actually um, he actually got something. He actually got some shine. It was like real shine. It wasn't like, oh, he threw the key blast to help kill Cell, or nothing stupid like that, or him fighting Boo until Goku get the Genki Dama or whatever. Like he legit had his moment, man, and it was dope. Like you can't even hate on how Vegeta, put work in this Tournament of Power arc, man. And I definitely love the new look. The new look looks so clean, man, so clean. Of course, we got Ultra Instinct, which I thought was dope as fuck, man. People hate on that thing, but I've always felt like Ultra Instinct is something where you can appreciate, man. Like the first time we seen it, man, you hear that da da da. I mean, it was so dope in 109 and 110. I think it now I say like the second time before he the second. I don't know how many times. Maybe it was like the second time or the third time. He got it. It was kind of okay. It's getting kind of tired now. I definitely think Kefla, which is another character I like. Him getting against her was godlike too, bro. I mean, we have to pay homage to Kefla. A lot of people hated that character too. I love Kefla, man. I don't know why I love that character, but she was just such a badass, in my opinion. And you know, that Kamehameha, I'll never forget that one, man. To me, might be the cleanest one I've seen. Just how it happened. You know, there's a lot of people who disagree, but in my opinion, I think that's the best Kamehameha Goku has ever thrown, ever, man. Sliding on the key blast from Kefla and then going straight into the Kamehameha, dope as fuck. But Master Ultra Instinct is literally that form. He's like all white, bro. Like, how can you hate on that? And the way they animated was so good, it felt like I can't really like explain it, man. It's definitely something that, you know, like I said, when we first see Ultra Instinct Omen, which is when he still had black hair, it was dope. But when he went mastered, he literally looked like a god, bro. You know, and the way he was putting them paws on Jiren, bro, like it was so like amazing. And like I said, it was a lot of mixed reviews on that because I'm like, oh well, he got it the same way he got the other time. Let's put something on the air. Goku don't know how to use Ultra Instinct, man. He just don't know how to do it. You know, it's always at the brink of when he's getting his ass kicked. It's always at the brink, and as you can see, especially in episode 130, he can't really hold on to it for that long, especially the master one. The master one fucked him up. You know what I'm saying? So he doesn't really oh, what up, Wes, man? What's going on, bro? You can still come in, man. I'll send you the link. But yeah, it's definitely something that, you know, he he doesn't really know how to use. So it's not something that, you know, you can really sit down and say, oh well, you know, he why can't he just use it all the time? Because he don't know how to fucking use it. It's not like Super Saiyan Blue. It's not like Super Saiyan God. It's nothing like that. This is a whole different beast. So, you know, I don't understand why people don't have can't understand that mindset. Hold on, I'm gonna send you the link, West. Hold on. But yeah, you know, so it's definitely something that, you know, I love. I think Ultra Instinct was badass, man, and you know, it's definitely something I hope to see in the future. And I'm pretty sure it's gonna be in the movie too, you know, because why wouldn't it be? You know what I'm saying? Like, why wouldn't it be in the movie? Hold on one second. What's that? 11:30. Okay. All right. Yeah, he's not home. But anyway, so going forward, man, I definitely love the transformations for the most part. Even seeing Kefla going, you know, Super Saiyan was dope, and she was OP as hell too. It actually took, you know, it took Ultra Instinct to actually take her out, which is kind of crazy. Dragon Ball, like I said, has a lot of problems. I'm about to get to the cons in a minute, but like I said, that's definitely one of my favorite fights in the whole series. But going on to some of the cons, you know, so when Dragon Ball Super first got announced, I'm like, oh shit, a new Dragon Ball. This is like right around the movies. Like it was like a lot of stuff going on for Dragon Ball, and they started like going with started with the movie arcs. And I'm like, I don't want to watch this, man. I think that was a disservice for, you know, for people who actually didn't understand. I mean, who was excited to see something new, and then you started with stuff people already seen. I was like, bro, I don't really understand that shit. Because if you really think about it, they kind of like fucked them up a little bit, man. And I really hated the first two arcs because they was pretty much movie arcs. They was movie arcs, and I'm like, I don't want to watch this again. You know, I went to the movies both times to see these movies. Why am I going through this all over again? I don't need to do this all over again. You know what I'm saying? And it's something that bothered me, you know, per se. And it was definitely a waste of time. Now, the animation, oh, bruh, like, look, if you know Dragon Ball Z, GT, they all have bad animations, man. Like you can't draw everything good, you know, especially when it's like a pan shot going from left to right or far away or whatever. Then they definitely need something to where, you know, you can't draw all that stuff sometimes. So, but some of the animations, bro, it's ugly. Like they was like Super was getting dragged in the mud the first two arcs for some of those animations, man. And they still really didn't recover as much. They had a few spots that were good in the Universal tournament. The Black arc was beautiful. I definitely give them credit on that. Seemed like they actually took their time on that one. It was still some weak spots in there, but for the most part, it looked really good. And then the Tournament of Power arc, you know, it's like, damn, you know, this one has some bad animation, a lot of reused animations, which I'm fine with. I really don't care about reused animations for the most part, but them trying to, you know, cram like 40 minutes because the tournament is only 40 minutes. A lot of people forget that. It's like it's only 40 minutes. So like one episode was like maybe like a minute or so, maybe, or sometimes 30 seconds. Like it was something like the timing was so off in the Tournament of Powers. It was actually kind of crazy, man. But it's just, it boggles my mind, like how they let shit just go to waste, man. And like I said, shout out to Geekdom because this is what he said in one of his videos. Like Toriyama will give these guys the script or whatever, and then they'll just animate it based on that. You know, so it was, you know, it wasn't really Toriyama, it was the animators, and they had people like from different places. It was just a lot of like craziness going on with Super. So I'm actually kind of glad they're going on break, man, because they need to like readjust how the hell they're gonna be doing this shit. Because for the most part, it's not something that I it does. It's like an eyesore sometimes watching some of this stuff, man. Especially early on, I was like, "Bro, this is kind of crazy," you know. But yeah. So it's definitely. I didn't really like the animation for the most part. The power scaling, me and my man Wespion had a lot of arguments about this, and like I said, for the most part, I actually agree. Like a lot of the powers didn't really make any sense, you know, like Khalifa, you know, getting so strong so fast. And she is a Saiyan, of course, so they do get strong with each battle. But Kaba, and Kale came in and started wrecking everybody because it's pretty much Broly playing fan service to Broly, for the Broly fans or whatever. And she came in wrecking everybody. Everybody's like, why is she beating a Super Saiyan God? And I'm like, if you go back to that episode, she was beating the shit out of Goku. But once Jiren got rid of her, when he said be gone the first time we seen it, Goku had no scratches on him, man. And like when Goku get beat up, bro, you could tell, man. He was getting fucked up, but he wasn't getting fucked up to where like he couldn't fight anymore. He was just getting fucked up, because Kel, he was like, what the fuck is this? She Berserker Super Saiyan, he don't really how to deal with that because Broly is not canon, of course. So, that's pretty much how that's he don't know how to fight this chick. So he's just getting washed over and over and over and over and over again. And he's just pretty much, doing trying to figure out whatever. But yeah, Kel, Khalifa, I love the characters, but I do feel like they got strong a little bit too fast for me. Just a little bit, not too much. Khalifa, she was Super Saiyan 2 before she was she was Super Saiyan before she even got in the tournament, the whole tingling thing in the back or whatever. I don't get that. But like I said, the power scan was a little off in here, and they kind of dumbed down Super Saiyan Blue. Super Saiyan Blue is getting destroyed, in this arc, bro. Like, that's what I'm saying. It was more so in the term of the power scaling, because I feel like in the other arcs it wasn't too bad, and you have people like Hit, for instance. I think Hit and Goku, that fight was fine. I think because Hit is not really like a fighter. He's a killer. He's an assassin. That's what he does. What I'm saying? So, him being able to get stronger was actually a dope idea for them to do, because, like I say, he has so much untapped potential, because he never really has to. He can just kill people in the blink of an eye and dip. So I definitely like that. But the term of power, I think the power scaling got a little bit out of whack, man. But that's just my opinion. Another thing I didn't like how they tried to make Kaba Super Saiyan 2 transformation like Gohan's. That, to me, that was his utter disrespect. And I say that because, Kaba is a lame ass character. I never liked this character at all. My boy Justin liked Kaba, but I never liked Kaba. I always felt like Kaba to me was just lame. He, like I say, he had his cool moments, like in the Universal arc, the Universal tournament. When he first went Super Saiyan, it was giving Vegeta that work. He's like, okay. I thought that was pretty cool, but anything after that, bro, like he was just whack, man. He is so weak, compared to Khalifa and Kale, man. And I don't understand how, people can, I don't understand how anybody likes Kaba. I never liked Kaba. I feel like Kaba was always, like I said, the weak link. Because the Universe 6, you really didn't. They're fighters. We kind of seen them before. Magata. Who's the other guy? I forgot. And Frost. They pretty much brought back everybody from the Universal tournament. There was a couple more, but I never, like I said, Kaba, to me, them trying to force Kaba, it seemed like they was trying to make everybody like him. And I didn't like that, bro. Like Gohan Super Saiyan 2, I'm going to say Gohan Super Saiyan 2 tournament, transformation is one of the best moments ever, bro. How dare you try to make Kaba have that same? Don't do that. Don't do that, bro. Don't force feed. Don't force feed my man Kaba to us. We don't want him like that. We're not fans of Kaba like that. I don't think nobody really liked Kaba, bro. That's just my personal opinion. But yeah, that's something I hate it, dude. I hate it, man. Another thing I didn't like about Super was, especially with the tournament, I felt like this arc lasted too long. There were so many dead episodes in this arc, bro. Like, they could have cut a lot of this shit out, and kind of like focus on more shit at the beginning of the tournament, or added a couple of episodes after the tournament. But there's a lot of like dead weight in the middle, and I definitely did not like that. It's like they was dragging this shit out, especially when you're taking weeks off, a week in here, a week there. I'm like, dude, let's just get to the fucking end. Like, what I'm saying? Like, let's get to the end, please. Because I'm like, fuck, dude. Like, it's something that bothers me. Like, because that's what Dragon Ball likes to do. If you ever, they like to drag shit out. That's just what they do, man. And this arc lasted way too long. Like, this arc lasted like, I'm gonna say like probably like 6, 7, 8 episodes too long, in my opinion. And and that's fine. That's definitely fine. But at the same time, it's something that we just gonna have to deal with. But yeah, Terminal Power lasted way too long. There's a lot of, like I said, a lot of trash in the middle. In others arc, man. A lot of people, a lot of people getting shine that really shouldn't get shine. And I'm not even talking about from Universe 7. It's talking about like from other universes. A lot of trash characters from the other universes too. Like I said, I like a lot of the new ones, but it was a lot of trash uh, in Dragon Ball Super, especially in the Tournament arc. A lot of trash characters, man. So I'm like, stop prolonging this shit, bro. I know you want to tell a story, but this I don't even know when this shit started, bro. It's like episode 78, 77. Bro, we on episode 131. Like, are you kidding me? Like, it took too long. It took way too long, man. But I definitely don't like that per se. Now, oh man, oh man, oh man. But yeah, so I definitely don't like that. But like I said, I think overall, I would say Dragon Ball Super was fun. It was fun. I enjoyed it no matter what I was doing on Saturdays. Whether I get in late or I'm just chilling at the house, I always tuned into Super, good or bad animation, bad storyline, good storyline, anything. I always tuned in, man. It was definitely fun, and it's definitely going to be missed by me. It's only 23 minutes out the day, but I actually enjoyed it. And I actually enjoyed watching others, talk about Super, whether it be, geekdom or, rhyme style or just all the, or, in the, like all the people that in the Dragon Ball, I always like watching like their reviews and stuff and theories and stuff like that. And it's going to be kind of dead for the most part, man. Like, like Sundays was the day I get up, I watch all the people's reviews, all the breakdowns and stuff like that. Then we get into the spoilers the next week and we talk about that. And like, it's definitely it's gonna suck, going forward, because we don't get to move to December and there's no telling when Super is coming back, but it is coming back though. It is coming back, and it's definitely something that I can't wait for. So we've been almost 40 minutes. So before I get out, I definitely want to talk about where I have two more things I want to talk about. Where does it rank between GT, Z, and Dragon Ball? I think Dragon Ball is kind of like on its own, just for the simple fact that it's kind of like the seed that kind of like branched out all these other iterations from Z to GT to Super. So I'm not going to count Dragon Ball. I'm definitely going to stick with Z and GT. Do I think Super is better than Z? Man, I can't do that. I want to, man, but I think put, Z put Dragon Ball on the map, and because a lot of people watch Dragon Ball and appreciate Dragon Ball, but Z is when everybody start coming in, man. And from the Saiyan saga to the Frieza saga to the Cell saga and the Buu saga, which I hate. I hate the Buu saga. I think that's probably one of the worst sagas that ever come about in any anime is the Buu saga. It literally made no sense at all. Super doesn't really stack up from arc perspective because in my opinion the only arc in Super that can actually come close to anything in Z is the black arc. I did like the Tournament of Power, but like I said, that shit dragged on way too long. The Universal Tournament was good. It felt kind of rushed. You know what I'm saying? So it's like I only put like the black arc. So if I was ranking arcs between Z and Super, I'll definitely go uh, Frieza arc, then I'll go Black arc, then I'll go Cell arc, then I'll go Saiyan arc, then I go Buu arc, and then whatever else Super got. Because like I said, I don't feel like it was enough thought put into some of these arcs, like the Black arc had in Super, and the Tournament of Powers just lasted way too long, in my opinion. But I do feel like Dragon Ball Super is better than GT. GT only had one good arc overall. I mean, like the first half of GT is so bad. It literally just made no sense to me, and it was I'm not gonna say it was terrible, but it was unwatchable. So if you equate that to terrible, then that's cool. You know what I'm saying? But I do feel like I would say that, how can I say this? GT, like the second part was actually pretty. I actually enjoyed the second half of GT. You know, with Baby and Super 17, Omega Shinron and the Dragons, and you know, people didn't like Super Saiyan 4. I actually like Super Saiyan 4, bro. You know, I actually like Super Saiyan 4. I think it was a dope, and Gogeta is simply fucking crazy. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I think GT is definitely at the bottom still, but it's hard pressed for me to put Super over Z. I don't know if I could do that. I just don't think I can, man. But I do feel like the Black arc is like right under the Frieza arc. So I think that's something that nobody's seen because everybody, people always put the Frieza arc, the Cell arc, and the Boo arc as like the top three. Those are like the staples of Dragon Ball right there, you know. And I feel like Super actually has an arc that can rival those three. You know, I don't think no arc ever touched the Frieza arc, in my opinion. To me, it's literally it has no chance. Nobody has a chance to top the Frieza arc. It's so much that went into that arc, man. And you know, just like Goku finally getting Super Saiyan, that scene alone like destroys everything. You know, like so that scene alone, seeing him transform for the first time, and then looking over his shoulder at Frieza, like people still get chills watching that. You know what I'm saying? Like that is something that will never ever, you know, go away ever. You know, and it's super. They have nothing close to that. I'll say the only thing, and it wasn't even close, but the only thing is when Goku went Kaioken in blue form. Because everybody flipped their shit when they seen that for the first time. And I'm like, Kaioken, you haven't seen that shit in I don't know how long. That's literally like the only thing I can think of off the top of my head. And maybe Ultra. I think Ultra Instinct too. But if, Super Saiyan 1 for the first time is literally unrivaled, man. It's definitely unrivaled. So before I get out of here, man, I definitely want to talk about what's next for Superman. Now we know we had the movie, and we really don't know much about the movie. They are introducing a new character, a new villain, but they did say it's literally continuing right after what we seen in Dragon Ball Super, like episode 130. It's just a continuation, which is dope. But we kind of have to see where they go with that because, like I said, we just don't have any information. I'm pretty sure the Dragon Ball community they start getting stuff soon enough, but there's so much untapped stuff in Super alone. Not even talking about the movie. Like you know, I want to know more about the Grand Prix. I want to know more about you know Zeno. Where the hell he come from? Let's go check out the Saiyan planet in Universe 6. You know, let's explore some of the other universes, man, and see how they live. You know, maybe they go over there try to save somebody or something like that. Just open up, like that's what I'm saying. Dragon Ball, they did themselves a good thing where it wasn't like a closed-ended ending. It was an open-ended ending. I mean, they could pretty much do whatever the hell they want, you know, especially after the movie. They can go anywhere they want. They have arcs upon arcs upon arcs to go through. Well, you know, let's go see where Hit's from, man. Well, what's his backstory? Something like that, man. They could do so much stuff with Super, and hopefully they just kind of understand that you know quality does matter because all the hype episodes for this arc, Determine the Power, broke Crunchyroll. It broke all the streaming services. So when people are anticipating good stuff, then more people will watch. I'm not saying people didn't watch, you know, all the time, but like the hype episodes, man, broke Crunchyroll. I knew it was gonna happen, man. It started with 109, 110, broke the service. Couldn't watch the shit for like 3 hours, you know. So hopefully in the future they definitely you know that and start to pay attention to that type of stuff. But they have so much material to go by, man. Is they have so much, you know, Beerus Goku rematch, you know, Jiren Goku rematch. Those could be like a little 3-part series, like what they did with Hit. You know, like I said, they have so much material to use now. Going forward, man, it's definitely gonna be something to see. I'm actually excited for it to come back. You know, so I'm bummed that it's on break, but like I said, we still get the movie in December, and then sometime next year, more than likely, even the episode said for a brief time, we're definitely going to come back. It makes no sense to end the series. Doesn't. But I think that's pretty much it, man. That's a cool 45 minutes. Just want to get this out, man. And whether you watch it or not, it's cool. I definitely just want to get this out because I definitely enjoy the series for the most part. I'll give it like a 7.5 out of 10. Just for some of the reasons I didn't like the series, especially with the first two arcs were just god awful. And I pray to God if Super does come back, do not retell the movie, please. We don't need 20, 30 episodes talking about the movie. Just go straight into the new stuff. And then, it'll be fine. But anyway, man, I want to thank you guys for listening, if you did. And this is your boy Upchuck Gaming. We game here. FGC. I know it's a little different than what I'm used to, man. But anyway, man, I hope you guys have a good day. And I'm out. Take care.